matter is, Gervonta Tank Davis is a big-time predator. He's a big-time predator who needs to hunt big-time game.
Is Jake Paul someone you'd want to take on at one point?
Yeah. Tell him, this is my call out. Jake Paul, what up? What up, Jake Paul?
I got somebody I want to call out after this fight.
You said you got somebody you want to call out after this fight? Yeah. Who is that?
Can you give a hint?
Is it Lomachenko?
Gervonta Tank Davis, a dominant lightweight boxing champion, recently called out YouTuber-turned-boxer Jake Paul, labeling him a bozo and questioning his legitimacy.
You were an interested observer on the Netflix event, Paul versus Tyson.
Why would he even want to fight him? And who told Mike Tyson to fight anyway?
Is Jake Paul someone you'd want to take on at one point?
Yeah. Tell him, this is my call out. Jake Paul, what up? What up, Jake Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Jake Paul fired back on social media, calling Davis Floyd's little son and mocking his credibility. He referenced Davis's dismissive comments about female boxing stars Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor.
That there was going to be a lot of people on your platform watching this. That's what you promoted. That's what you wanted. And you failed not only people in America, all over the world that wanted to see this fight. Like, I'm going to bed now. It's like not even worth it. The women, I don't even know if they're on fight right now because I don't even know where they're at. But this is ridiculous, Netflix. Y'all owe everybody a bunch of money. Not only the fighters, the subscribers.
Davis, ever the prize fighter, views a bout with Jake Paul as a chance to create a blockbuster event, adding excitement to his final career chapters and ensuring a memorable exit from the sport.
I've been told y'all Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a prize fighter. I know a lot of you guys say, well, he doesn't fight for belts, he doesn't fight for legacy, he fights for money. He's a prize fighter, Jerry. And I'm going to assume a prize fighter is a guy who is solely making fights based off of cash reward. He'd rather fight a bum for 50 million than fight a guy who's experienced for 10 million. That is what a prize fighter would be. Actual definition, a professional boxer who competes in matches for money prizes. So let's take a look at it. Turki Al-Sheikh has declared he wants to make Tank versus Shakur. He says, my plan for Shakur is this fight. He's referring to Floyd Schofield, then William Zepeda, and then let's see if Tank wants to be in our show. Tank's not going to fight Shakur. He's not going to fight him in Saudi Arabia. So now that we've established Tank isn't a prize fighter, because if he was, his career resume would look a whole lot different, then we must ask, what is Tank's goal in boxing? I'll tell you right now, it's easy money. Tank is the type of guy, he'd rather fight, let's say, 4 Lamont Roaches for 20 million than fight 1 Shakur Stevenson for 80 million, which is fine. But I'm tired of people saying, oh, he's a prize fighter, that's why he's not taking these fights. He's not a prize fighter. The biggest money fights is Haney, Ryan, Tio, Shakur, and Loma. He's not even going to take half of those fights. So please, guys, all my Tank fans, all my guys who claim Tank is a prize fighter, that's why he's not fighting for the belts, please stop it. The guy's not a legacy fighter.
Jake Paul's manager, Nakisa Bidarian, asserted that Javant needs Jake Paul, emphasizing the financial allure of a crossover fight. Despite Davis's boxing credentials, a bout with Paul promises unmatched revenue and global attention, making it a lucrative opportunity hard to overlook.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
Jake Paul's influence extends beyond his boxing career. He's reshaped the sport through savvy promotion and media partnerships. His ability to generate buzz, fill arenas, and secure lucrative deals, such as his collaboration with Netflix, has set a new standard in boxing promotion. Even traditional fighters recognize Paul's knack for blending entertainment with athletic competition, driving both viewership and revenue.
Jake Paul is unequivocally the most successful fighter in history 4 years in. No one comes close. No one. you couldn't list one that comes close, including Brock Lesnar if you include his WWE career. 4 years in terms of what he's done in terms of box office, pay-per-view, impact, helping other boxers, because he had platform, he had awareness, and he's got the focus and discipline.
Despite Jake Paul's business appeal, Gervonta "Tank" Davis remains unconvinced of Paul's legitimacy as a boxer. When asked about the possibility of fighting Paul, Davis scoffed, saying, "I will laugh at it." He frequently refers to Paul as a clown, implying that his criticism stems more from Paul's public persona than his boxing skills.
How about Jake? What do you think of Jake?
Clown.
Yeah.
He's a clown.
Would you look at it as a joke if your team was like, yo, we want you to fight Jake Paul? Would you be like, come on, man?
I laugh at him. Like, you want me to fight him?
You think it'll ever come to the point where you're going to mix into, I mean, you're obviously doing the real shit, but will it ever mix into the point where the money's big enough
Yeah,
for
would you ever
to
do a
take-
fight like that?
I feel as though in my career I can't.
The possibility of a Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight has ignited intense fan discussions. Following Paul's bout with Mike Tyson, many suggested he should face a legitimate boxer closer to his age and size.
I want an apology right now. I just posted this shit. I just said this earlier. And y'all was like, oh, he too small. He can't fight him. Oh, weight classes. Shut the fuck up. Literally, in the post-fight press conference, I didn't even know this shit happened. They asked Jake if he wanted to fight Tank, which is what I just fucking said. And it was like, Tank had posted that he would beat the brakes off of him, which I think he would do. And what's crazy is, if you watched it, Jake looked nervous answering that question. Because then he responded with some shit like, oh, isn't there a height requirement? Like, bro, what? Like, what? Let him fight. It'd be the biggest fight ever. Let him fight. Please let him. Oh my God. Please let these niggas fight each other. Because you know what's going to happen? Tank is going to pack this man up. It's going to be easy. It will. It will be an easy fight for Tank. I promise you that. He going to walk away with like, I don't know, like 30 million, maybe. And then he might retire. Who knows?
Gervonta Davis plans to retire by 2025, citing boredom with boxing. Fans are eager to see who he'll face before leaving the sport.
Tank is just done with boxing. He does not enjoy it anymore. It's very clear that he just does not want to box anymore, and that's okay. He went into more detail about why he wants to retire after 2025, and it basically just comes down to he's tired of fighting, he's tired of getting punched in the face, he's not worried about his legacy. He said that he has his legacy in his city, and that's all he's worried about. He did also say that he wants to go to therapy, and he feels like if he goes to therapy now while he's boxing, he won't have that same fire inside of him, and he won't even be able to mentally get prepared for a fight. He also brought up his kids a lot, says he wants to be a lot softer for his daughters. He's got his son now, so he wants to be there for his son and be a good dad and not be getting beat up in the gym all the time. So honestly, I gotta respect it. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just worry about people's mental when they're at their lowest. You know, why do we have to see Tank lose to worry about his mental? Because Sonny Edwards just retired because of his mental. Like, he was at his lowest. So I don't think we have to see Tank get there to care about his mental. So if he wants to go and he wants to get his last 2-3 fights in, okay, great. Do that. And then go take care of yourself. Because he is young. And I think it's becoming more of a trend to retire when you're like 30, 31. Because Sonny Edwards, 28. Gervonta is going to retire at like 31, 32. And then even Jesse Bam Rodriguez says by the time he's 30, he doesn't even really want to be in the sport anymore.
This revelation adds urgency to Davis's remaining fights, as he aims to make them exciting and memorable before his planned retirement in 2025.
But I think this does have a lot to do with them getting into the sport so young. When you're doing it from like the age of 12 or even sometimes younger for Tank, I believe he was younger. So when you've been doing it for that long, getting beat up for that long, I mean, it takes a toll on you. You just don't want to do it anymore. So I gotta.
The secrecy surrounding Davis's plans has fueled speculation about potential bouts, including one with Jake Paul, adding to the intrigue and anticipation among fans.
The last fight you want to go out on, like, who do you have anybody in mind?
Come on. No, I'm saying, no, I don't have a name right now. I got somebody I want to call out after this fight.
You said you got somebody you want to call out after this fight? Yeah. Who is that?
I'm not going to tell you.
You give a hint.
Is it Lomachenko?
Davis also criticized the state of boxing, calling it trash, a sentiment that reflects his frustration with the current direction of the sport and the challenges he faces within it.
Gervonta Tank Davis is set to retire next year, 2025, by the end of the year. He said this yesterday at his press conference with him and Lamont Roach. He said he wants to retire, get out the limelight, focus on real estate, just kind of get away from the bright lights, cameras, mental health, therapy, all that type of good stuff. And I'm not going to sit on here and bash him. You know, I'm a huge advocate for mental health, especially with men. I think there's a very valid reason to retire or step away from boxing. My whole mindset mentality is boxing's a job, and any job, you want to leave it with more than you came in there with. And Tank has done that a millionfold. If you want to walk away from the sport, go ahead. You don't owe anybody anything. If you want to focus on yourself, if you want to do whatever, you've 100% earned that. I'm not going to sit here and take that away from Tank. Now, Tank said in 2025, he hopes to fight Ryan Garcia again. That's the only fight he said he's really looking for this year. Do I think he's going to permanently retire from boxing? More than likely not. Could he take a couple months to maybe a year or two off? Maybe so. But for Tank to never box again after 2025, I find that very unlikely. But like I said, the kid's earned it. I wouldn't be mad if he
Retiring.
What changed? What made this shit trash, garbage?
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like the talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford and or Leonard Edelby usually they're around to?
You think you might be gaining love for it though? You never know. Like say you got to swap today.
Yeah, he's a bad man, and there's a good crop of people like that today. Tank is another one.
Yes,
phenomenal fighter.
Yes, look, Kid Austin is right on the hills, right? Kid
Bruce
Austin,
Ennis.
correct? Bruce,
Yeah.
and let me tell you, you look. I can promote a lot of fighters. You expecting me to mention a whole bunch of names? Got this week Zotto. He shows you something that is like an illusion. Might not be the first time once he tried you and you go for it, but it's coming. And that's how he set you up. He set traps.
Yeah, he sets traps, and he's got ridiculous one-punch knockout power too. He's just such an interesting fighter because his style is so different from everybody else. He's so conservative in the early rounds, throws so few punches, and he lets you work. He lets you work, and you're backing up, and you're always afraid of that power, and he's just moving in, trying to find that opening where he just gets in there on you.
Your mind is burning energy.
Yeah.
You physically burning energy.